Okay, touch the leg and welcome to the last session of today's online teaching. Okay, so in the third session, you have already seen how Gethenchuala was able to use all the writing processes in writing process in application, isn't it? And Gela has given a very good example of how these process, the 5 process, should be carried out. Okay. Yes, so I am here once again with the same topic, the writing process that I've done in the previous session. Okay, yes. So basically all my slides will be same in this session. It also becomes somewhat like a repetition. Okay, so those who have missed the earlier session, you can just continue watching this. There will be no changes much. Okay, so I told you my topic will be on writing process. So in the previous session we were discussing about what actually is a writing process. When we say what is writing process, what are the things that we have to keep in mind. Okay, yes. So I remember giving you one metaphor. I've just given one metaphor. And what was that metaphor? I was talking about the momo making. Okay, so whenever we think about some process, the best and the most suitable example is momo making. Okay, because momo making has so many processes, but I'm not saying that other dishes do not have different process. Of course they have, but when we talk about momo, I think it's quite relevant, it's very suitable for this writing process. So when we think of momo, we have to keep in mind all the processes. If we follow all these processes, then we will have a very yummy and wonderful momo. But if you made some mistake in these processes, then we won't be able to get a very yummy momo. You see, so that is the thing that you have to keep in mind. Okay, yes. So the same thing can be applied in the writing. Okay, yes. So when I say writing, I'm not just sticking to the English language, but I'm you can apply all these things, all these 5 processes in all languages in which you do your writing. You do in Tibetan, you do in Hindi, you do in Chinese, and whatever language. Okay. These process, the writing process remain the same. Okay, yes. So I want you to reflect. Okay, you just turn back and see how you have made the writing. Up till now you have done so many writings. So you just look back and see for how many writing have you used this writing process properly, and how did this writing, how did that writing turn out to be? Okay, yes, sometimes you have used proper rhyming, that writing processes, and for some type of writing you have not done the proper writing process. You just write without any proper preparation like this, and you must have compared, okay, which small piece of writing become better. Is it the one where you have followed the writing process properly, or is it the one where you did not care much about the writing process? What I want to say is the writing, that piece of writing where you have followed all the writing processes properly, I'm sure that writing would have become much better. That's a guarantee that I give. Okay, so writing process is very important. Okay, yes, there is no way you can get away from writing. Okay, as long as you are in the school, even out of school, in colleges, when you start working, you cannot stay away from writing. Writing has become indispensable part in our life. So it's very important for you to have some idea about the writing process. Okay, so when I say the writing process, I'm talking about these 5 different processes. Okay, yes. So these are all general, it applies to all writing. Okay, and what are these 5 processes? The first process is pre-writing. Okay, second one is drafting, third one is revising, The fourth one is editing, and finally we have the publishing. Okay, so if you watch the previous session of Tenzin has beautifully done all this process with a good example. Okay, yes. So these are the 5 processes that you have to keep in mind. It doesn't mean that all these words should be fixed or like this. No, there may be other writing processes. For example, if you look at the English textbook, for example, from CBAC or NCRD, we have got different textbook. Now they follow another writing process which is called the acronym CODER. Okay, CODER. I'm sure you must have heard, and some of you must be using that process. Okay, where C stands for collect ideas. Okay, and then O stands for organize all these ideas, and then you do your first draft, and after that you coder, and then you edit that, and then finally you revise that, publish that thing. So basically all the work and the process is same, but the only difference is we get different words. Okay, yes. So you see how many processes are there? There are 5 processes: pre-writing, drafting, revising, editing, publishing. So whenever there is any piece of writing, if you follow these processes properly, I'm sure your writing would be much more better than the one where you did not follow this process. Okay, yes. So by learning this, I want you to write a small piece of write-up, and you just follow all these process. Now, without taking much time, let us go through these processes one by one. And I have already done this process in the previous session, but nevertheless, this will be a recapitulation or a review. Okay? Yes. So the first one, remember, this is the pre-writing. Before you write anything, suppose if a teacher gives you one writing assignment, okay, you write about your feeling, okay, about the lockdown. Okay, so that is the small piece of writing the gala gave you. Okay, now what are the things that you are going to do? So first you are going to do the pre-writing. Okay, yes. So pre-writing, what do? You just try to gather all the ideas. You just try. Writing cannot become automatically. First you have to gather some idea, and Tenzin has already done this in her session, okay, where she used one of the pre-writing strategies called clustering. Okay, yes. First try to gather all the ideas on the paper, as many ideas as you can. There is no limit. In fact, the more the better, because you can choose. Okay, yes. And the second one is audience. Whenever you start a piece of writing, you have to keep in the back of your mind who your audience is. Okay, and the third one is purpose. The audience and purpose should be always at the back of your mind whenever you whenever you do a piece of writing. So here, audience, I mean who is going to read. Okay, yes. Once you have that idea, then your writing will depend according to the ideas. And in the morning session, I remember giving an example, all the fiction books. Okay, these writers, they have their own audience. So according to their audience, when they keep the audience in the back of their mind, they started telling the stories. Okay, yes. For example, we have got so many movies also. Okay, for example, Cinderella. Okay, there is one Cinderella, the audience will be for small children, so it may come in the cartoon form. But on the other hand, there are some movies, the same name, Cinderella, but the audience will be adult. You got it? So the way of telling the story, it's a bit different. So according to the audience, we have to write. Okay, yes. And the last one is purpose. So before you write anything, you have to keep in mind what is your purpose of writing. You are writing a small piece, and there is a purpose. So what is your purpose? Your purpose may be you tell a story, or your purpose may be you request, or your purpose may be you make some argument. Now there are different purposes. So according to the purpose, your writing also depends. Okay, for example, if you are going to persuade, okay, your main purpose is to persuade someone, and that writing will be different from when your purpose is just to tell. Okay, so it's different. So you see, the writing also changes according to this. So these are the things that which I say happens during the pre-writing. Okay, now let us try to, okay, when I say, okay, you have to do pre-writing, now the question is, what are some of the strategies that we can use in this pre-writing? Okay, there you said so many things, but what are the strategies? Now there are some strategies, and if you look at, which I say, the internet, you will come across so many strategies. Okay, strategies that we follow in the pre-writing. Okay, and I'll also remember telling you about the graphic organizer. Okay, now this graphic organizer plays very important part. Okay, graphic organizer. Okay, yes. So the graphic organizer is a tool, okay, the tool that you can use in this stage, okay, where your ideas will come in the form of a drawing or a picture. Okay, yes. So the one that Getenchola used was one of the graphic organizer. Okay, yes. So this will help you get some idea. Okay, yes. So pre-writing, what are these strategies? The first one is brainstorming. Okay, yes. Whenever you have got some piece of writing, you have to gather the ideas. So on a piece of paper, you just start writing whatever you think about on that topic. You keep on writing. Okay, yes. And then you will get some idea. Okay, yes, brainstorming. And the second one is clustering. Okay, you have the topic. Okay, but you have got some problem about some, what should I say, subtopic like this. Now here, it's better you use the clustering. Why? Because we group these together. For example, if you're, what should I say, writing about the online teaching. Okay, yes. Now you have already got the topic. You have got so many things you can speak on that online teaching, but you can group them. Okay, what are the advantages of having what should I say, online teaching? What are the disadvantages? Now this is called clustering, grouping, and then you will get some idea. Okay, and the third one is free writing. Okay, yes, free writing. So in a free writing, you just keep writing whatever comes in your mind. You are not going to what should I say, differentiate anything, whatever comes in here. Some of the, what should I say, sentences may look very silly, but doesn't matter. This is what free writing is all about. You write everything. And after writing for some time, for example, you have got one topic and you just, what should I say, write continuously just for 5 or 7 minutes. And after 5 or 7 minutes, at least you will get some idea. You got some bird's eye view about the ideas. And from that idea, you can easily select. So this is what free writing is all about. Okay. And then we have got the questioning. Okay. You suppose you have got the topic and now you are going to plan everything. So during that time, it's better you use this questioning, 5W, as you know, all the 5 W's, why, where, who, when, okay, all this thing, and how. Now, if you use this, okay, then it will be easy for you to gather on. Now, this is pre-writing strategy, and this is just a planning. Okay, you haven't done any which are actual writing. Okay, now after getting all these things, okay, you got what should I say, enough ideas. Now, what is the second process? The second process is drafting. Okay, so drafting means you are going to put all these ideas in a writing. So during the drafting, what are the things that you have to keep in mind? Okay, yes, if you remember the previous session by Getenchola, okay, but on the basis of all the, what should I say, words, what should I say, ideas Gela had gathered during the pre-writing stages, on that basis, she started writing her first draft. Okay, so in the drafting session, what do? You write ideas, and there's no need for you to worry about the grammar and mechanics and all these things. Okay, yes. So during the drafting, first make sure that you have got the introduction, and you have got the body, and you have the conclusion. Now that is just which is the basic, the foundation. Whatever there is whenever we have got any kind of paragraph or essay, now these things should be always kept in mind. First is introduction, and the last one is conclusion, and the body. And normally in the body, we talk about 3 main things. So in a lower class, normally when we write paragraph, we say that a simplest paragraph should have at least 8 sentences. Okay, yes. The first one, introduction, you can write 1 sentence, and the conclusion, 1 sentence. Now we already got 2. So in the body section, 2 sentences for each topic. Okay, so that means we got 8. So the simplest paragraph can have 8 lines, okay, 8 sentences. So likewise, so body, introduction and conclusions. So during the drafting time, since you have already pulled out all the ideas, now you are going to organize that. What will be your introduction, what will be the body, and what will be the conclusion. Now these are the things that you have to take care of in this drafting session. Okay, yes. And the next one is revising. So revising and editing, okay, some people, they do these 2 processes simultaneously. It depends upon you. Whichever is convenient for you, you can obviously do that. Okay, yes. So in revising, we have got one acronym. The acronym is ARMS, okay, ARMS, where A stands for add new sentences. So in the revising, you just try to focus more on the content. What are you talking about? What do you want readers to know? Whatever you have written, do you think it serves the purpose, your purpose of writing? Now you have to study all these things. So in a revising, your work is more on the content rather than the mechanics of the writing. Okay, yes. So you add new sentences. Okay, we have learned so many sentences. If you see so many compound sentences, and if you see so many simple sentences, now why don't you try another difficult level sentence, for example, complex sentence or complex compound sentence. Now this is what you do in this revising stage. And again, there may be some sentences which are unwanted, okay, which does not follow in that topic sentence. So you just delete that. Or like Tenzin has already done, some of the sentence during the drafting time, they may be ups and down. So you just shuffle the sentence and put the proper order. Okay, yes. And last one, you try to substitute. Okay, instead of using the same word. Okay, for example, adjective or a conjunction or a noun in all the sentences, it's better you substitute. Okay, you know the term synonym. Okay, in Tibetan we say tunjik mingin namta. Now there are so many synonyms. So you just try to use. This is how your writing becomes better. Okay, now all these things happen in this revising stage. Okay, yes. And then we have the editing. Okay, so I told you editing and revising may go simultaneously together. So while in the editing, we focus more on the content. Okay, yes. In editing time, we focus more on the mechanics of the language. Okay, whether there is a proper capitalization. Okay, you know about all these things, and uses, subject and verb, singular, plural, subject, verb, agreement, all these things. Okay, and the punctuation. You check whether the punctuation are properly done or not, and you check about you look for the spelling. Now these are the things that you should be doing in the editing. So if you see editing and revising, both these look same, but they are different. Okay, during the revising, focus is more on the content, developing the content. Okay, editing focuses more on the the capitalization, grammar, spelling, all these things. Okay, yes. And the last stage is publishing. So publishing means, it doesn't mean that you have to go to the publishing house and publish, which may also happen. I'm not saying you don't have to. Okay. Now here in the 5 processes, publishing means basically say the final output. Okay. Yes, that should be something that is very good. Okay. Yes. So whether you go for publishing or not, it's a different case. But publishing is the final work. Okay. Yes. After going through all the processes. So during the publishing stage, what do? You just first of all look at the format. Okay. Yes. Whenever a piece of we have a piece of writing, at least it should follow the basic format. The format is introduction, body, and conclusion. You just check whether all these things are in proper order or not. Okay, and you just see whether your handwriting is legible. If your handwriting is not that much legible, your readers, your audience may not be able to see. Okay, now when we are talking about the real writing, your handwriting, now normally we do it in word processors, so there'll be no problem. Okay, but yes, the next one, spacing, this plays very important. Okay, how do you keep the spaces in between a line, in between the words? Okay, now these are the things that you need to work out during the publishing stage. And last but not the least, okay, we have the left indent. Okay, yes, some people they keep the indent, some people they don't. Okay, yes, normally it's better you keep the left indent. Okay, when I say left indent, whenever you start a new paragraph, on the left side you have to keep at least one space. So that is called left indent. Okay, yes. So when you go out in foreign universities, they have their own, you need to do so many writings. So when you do writing, there are some criteria where you have to follow. Okay, for example, APA, American style of writing. So whenever you write some kind of assignment, you have to follow their pattern. Okay, yes. So that is the thing that you have to keep in mind. So this is about the publishing. Okay, yes. So today what we have done basically in the 4th session, we focus more on the writing process, which is one of the most important part. Okay, yes. So if you have all these writing processes in your mind, and no matter what kind of writing you do, if you follow these processes one by one, I'm sure your writing will be much better. Okay, whether you are in class 5 or in class 8, doesn't matter, the process is same. As I've already told you about the momo, whether you make veg momo, whether you make non-veg, whether you make momo in America or India, whether an Indian family make momo or whether a Tibetan family, it all same. Okay, so these writing process, 5 writing processes apply to all the classes, whether class 5 or 8 like this. So this is about the writing process, and the writing process application part, Tenzin has wonderfully done in my previous session. And tomorrow there will be again 4 sessions. In the first session, Tenzin will do the writing process and the application, and in the remaining session, we are going to focus on paragraph writing. Okay, yes. So since I've already disclosed tomorrow's lesson, I've already mentioned this in the beginning of my session, that I request you to do a little kind of homework. Okay, if you come with your homework, then tomorrow when you attend the lesson, there will be more excitement. Okay, sometimes you may be having more saying on that, and sometimes you may learn more things from us, and sometimes you can also see some mistakes. Okay, so overall the online teaching will be very good if you come prepared. Okay, so remember, tomorrow we are going to do the paragraph writing. So in advance, you just go through this, you Google it, you just try to recapitulate what you have learned, all these things, and then we see you tomorrow. Thank you so much.